what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Charific coming at you with another Pokemon movie analysis. And this time, the movie that we are going to be discussing is Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. And once again, I am joined with Weeb Rabbit.
Hello, everybody.
All right. So yeah, he's here, I'm here. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in. And again, I'm going to preface this like normal by saying no footage of the movie will be shown. Long
Because
story
YouTube
short,
sucks.
yes, YouTube sucks. I get copyright claims, I get channel strikes, 3 strikes and I'm out, and then you guys don't get to hear my beautiful voice. So, we're just gonna dive.
Everyone's like, "Oh, we don't mind you showing footage. It's fine."
But we're gonna dive in. So, the movie begins with we're just gonna call them pirates because that's what they are. They're on their little mechanical ship. They're in the sea, and they find this egg. And the captain, he's about to look at the egg when out of nowhere, guy bursts in, steals the egg, reveals he's a Pokemon Ranger, and then he leaves. He escapes, and that's pretty much the end of the prologue. And then we jump to Ash and his friends, and they're in a new city, new city, new movie, yada yada yada, and they meet people who
A
are
circus.
yeah, a circus, and they're doing cool water tricks. And then they meet, they talk and whatnot, and then they go with them and hang out and chill. And of course, they're snooping around. I believe it's May. Um, she goes into
Yeah,
like the
May's the one that notices that they keep kind of like there's something behind like a curtain. They kind of keep like
hmm
hiding, and she
yeah.
keeps being like really curious. Like, I wonder what that is. And she's almost
hmm
kind of like you said, snooping around a bit.
yeah, yeah. And so it's revealed to be a weird kind of egg. And then I believe that's when, they reveal that, oh, he's a Pokemon Ranger and he's protecting the egg. But then at that point, I think Team Rocket is also snooping around, stalking these children. And they notice,
As
and
they do.
yes, and then they notice, what was the pirate's name again?
Phantom.
Phantom.
Phantom's the leader pirate who looks like just a pirate. It's like
Yeah.
it's funny because everyone else just looks kind of like if you think of Team Aqua, they kind of look
hmm
at Team Aqua. They're just
Yeah.
pretty whatever. But then this dude just straight up looks like a pirate. Like he straight
Yeah.
up is a pirate, which is really funny.
And then he has a pair of Pokemon and everything. And then Team Rocket, James is like, oh, they're talking about the Phantom. And then he's like, oh, if he's after this treasure, then maybe we can get a cut of it if we tell him about it. So basically, they tell, and then Phantom is on his way, and it causes some troubles. And he almost gets the egg, but it gets in the process, the egg is like flown out of the cage. May catches it, and they end up getting away. But after all of that, the egg hatches. It's a Manaphy, and of course, it imprints on May, thinks that it's his mother, and then they decide that they're going to go on a quest to take Manaphy back to the what Kingdom of the Sea? Isn't that what it's
Something like
called?
that. It has a
Yeah,
certain name which I'm not remembering right now.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
basically it's just the Sea Kingdom where
Mm-hmm.
that's where it's from. So from there, basically the movie becomes kind of a not a fetch quest. What do you call it? It
Mm-hmm.
becomes
Like
escort mission. It becomes an
yeah.
escort mission. Let's lead this man feed back to where it belongs, basically.
hmm Yeah, and then, over the process, May gets attached and, they start to, create a bond. She teaches the Manaphy to speak like actual words. Like, because the Manaphy ends up saying like happy and like love you and mama and all that. It's kind of weird. But,
Yeah,
and
and there's a
then,
part where
hmm
May's bandana like flies away in the ocean because they're
hmm
just traveling by boat and all sorts of stuff.
yeah,
And then like the Manaphy goes to like get her bandana. It just like goes after it and like
yeah,
yeah, I mean they bond. Like you said, it's fine, I guess.
yeah, yeah, pretty cute. And
We get some
then,
we get lots of fan service with May. You
yes.
know, not
um,
even fan service. I'm just gonna call it fan service. Like, oh yeah, lots of fan service.
But
Lots of fan service with Ash
oh my
too.
gosh,
The love
yes.
it's something. The love is something for everyone.
Oh my
Everyone in their
gosh.
swimsuits.
Okay. But and then the Pokemon Ranger decides that this is too dangerous for children. We're gonna go it alone. This is what's best for Manaphy. And then of course they're sad. But then Manaphy, we didn't mention it earlier, but Manaphy has the ability to like swap people's bodies. and so Manaphy
Oh
swaps.
yeah, I actually
Yeah,
totally forgot that because they did that with Team Rocket like near the beginning, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. So Manaphy swaps Ash and the Pokemon Ranger, and so they have to go back, and then they decide, oh well, they're kids, but let's bring them on this dangerous mission because adventure, this is what they live for,
Well,
and
I think it's mostly because of the fact that Manphy was freaking out and like May's the
yeah,
only one who can calm it down. I think it was
yeah.
more that. So
I
they're like, okay,
mean,
fine, we'll let them come along, I guess.
to be fair, it was also like the crew, because like they switched boats, and the crew was like talking to the kids because like they only took them, and then the crew for the old captain was like, "Oh yeah, we know you kids, you want to go on that adventure, so you know what? Go ahead and go, because
Yeah, I was like, oh, you scrappy kids.
yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
yeah." And then they go, and they finally get to the Sea Kingdom, and it's a pretty big moment because we also didn't mention it, but the circus people are descendants of the people who came. I think they used to live there, and they also lived with Manaphy and whatnot, but then they moved to land. So it's a big moment for them to return to the Sea Kingdom and actually see it, and it's like a coming of age story for them too. They get there and they're actually going to return Manaphy, but then the Phantom shows up, and of course they led him right to the Sea Kingdom. So he goes in, and Team
He starts
Rocket stows
removing these like
away.
crystal things.
Yeah, the Sea Crown is what they called it, which is just like crystals, which is like stuck in a rock. And he removes one, and it triggers like an alarm system basically that starts to flood the Sea Kingdom.
I guess
And
the best way to describe it, if you've ever seen Superman, it's kind of like the crystals he has
mm,
at the
the
what
Fortress
do
of
you call it?
Solitude.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Where like yeah,
Yeah.
basically there's like a little area with crystals,
hmm
and I guess they each do something different. Where if you remove one, yeah, it basically goes into lockdown and starts flooding everything.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then at that point, like they're trying to escape, but then the Phantom is like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna get what I came here for." So he just starts removing even more of them.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Just keeps going at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Pokemon Ranger's trying to stop them, and the Pokemon Ranger like starts returning them, but they lose one. And you got to remember that they lose one. Um, and then Ash May, they find like the little pot that the captain came into, and then Ash tries to be the big bad hero. I mean, the big hero, and locks May in there, puts Pikachu in there, which was a pretty like touching moment because like he doesn't go anywhere without Pikachu. So Ash is like, "Yo, stuff is getting real, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna leave
we'll talk
Pikachu
about that more
here."
right now. It's actually kind of a good moment. We'll talk about it more in
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
But then it gets done from there because, of course, as he's trying to get the crystal by himself, being a hero,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like the gods answer his wish, and
Mm-hmm.
there's like this aura around him, and he
Yeah.
starts basically like flying around everywhere with this aura, and he like retrieves the crystal from the cap. He retrieves the crystal, and
mm-hmm.
then he retrieves the crystal from the captain as he's
Yeah.
flying around everywhere, and he
Yeah.
retrieves Manphy, and he basically just fixes everything using like the little god aura, which was like that part was like really dumb. It was just like okay, that's a little over the top right there, sure.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. It didn't really make any sense, and they just explained it as, oh, whoever like is the true king of the Sea Kingdom or whatever. Like it was just weird.
Or
It wasn't
somebody
really.
pure of heart or something. I don't remember what it
Yeah.
was, but there was some dumb reason. They're like, oh sure,
hmm
Ash was being heroic, and so I guess like the
Yeah.
gods basically answered his prayer, and
Yeah.
that's why they give him the power. Oh yeah, and also the captain guy, he just gets like squished.
Yeah, he does.
Like he's holding something up. I remember what it
hmm
was, and he just like gets like crushed. And it's like, well, moving on. And then everyone's just celebrating. Everyone's happy that Manfi's gonna be home, and of course May's sad, but she knows that she has to do it, and that's kind
hmm
of where it ends.
Yeah, I mean, but going back real quick, the reason why the captain got crushed is because like Ash was able to like summon like every single like ocean Pokemon, and then freaking Kyogre shows up, launches like a hyper beam into the man's ship, and just like freaking blows it up. Like I think all of his crew members died because they don't like it's never addressed where they come from. But the captain, I think he like comes back for like another quick part in the end. I think he gets arrested or something. But like
Does he?
yeah, I think so. I think so because like that's what he's holding up is like parts of his ship, and then it's shown that he has like mechanical enhancements, which is why he was able to like do all this like
All
feats of
right.
strength and
I don't
whatnot.
remember if it shows him get arrested. Maybe, maybe
Yeah,
not. I don't know.
maybe, but basically like that's where the movie ends, though, is that they return Manaphy, and that's it. They move on for their next adventure.
So basic summary. They find this magic egg. It imprints on May. May bonds with it. The movie becomes an escort mission where they have to lead Manphy back to its home. Shenanigans happen. There's a fight. Blah blah blah. Ash tries to be a hero.
Hmm.
Basically becomes Aquaman. Defeats the Pirate King. Becomes the hero of the day. They let go of Manphy. May cries a little bit, and then
Hmm.
they move on.
Yeah.
That's basically the whole movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, of course, like we skipped some stuff, but I don't know. I thought that it was a pretty good movie though. Pretty
Did
nice, pretty
you?
good.
I thought
I
I thought it
really
was pretty.
did.
I thought it was pretty basic, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, I don't know. It was pretty touching in my opinion. Like I
Yeah, like, it's
thought,
definitely not bad. It's
yeah,
definitely not
yeah,
bad. But I would say it's just like kind of like I would give it maybe like a B.
a B. I think that's fair because it definitely was
Yeah,
not as good as Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. Like hands down, like that
yeah. Like
movie
that had more. That had way
is,
more of a story, for instance. Stuff.
yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I guess the
Like,
part bothers me is that mostly, like I said, mostly just feels like an escort mission.
hmm
You know, that's why I think bothers me. I guess, but it's not like I said. It's not a bad movie. Like I think the visuals are really good.
yeah,
I like the antagonist, the pirate guy. I just kind of wish we had more of him because I
yeah,
think Phantom the pirate, he's pretty cool. Like just the fact that he's just this pirate guy, that's pretty cool.
hmm
I do think it's cute how you see May and Manphy bond. I thought that was nice.
hmm
I thought Ash's hero moment. It's funny. It's not like the only hero moment he ever has in these movies. I mean, for instance, the Lucario one, he tries to be a hero, and that was also like
hmm
pretty good, but I still thought it hit a little bit different. I mean, compared to other ones where it's just him being a hothead, basically
hmm
being like, no, I'm going to rush in no matter what, or
yeah,
him just getting caught up in the moment and like having to
hmm
be the hero. I thought it hit a little different how he's like, no, like May get in the little capsule and he kind of puts her in there. He wants her
yeah,
to be safe and then he hands over Pikachu.
yeah,
I was like, oh
like,
wow, like this is Ash actually like thinking things through and wanting to
hmm
save the people he cares about. It's not
yeah,
just him being like, yeah, I'm gonna rush in. It's like, no, like, he was like trying to get them to safety. That was actually it was a bit touching. I was like, wow, that was actually kind of a big hero moment.
yeah, yeah. I thought it was pretty nice and like just shows that he understands, like, because like you said, he does save the world and other things, but this is like he understands like more of the weight of the consequences. Like, yeah, you know what? There's a good chance that I'm gonna drown, so I might as well make sure that everyone else is safe, so that way if I fail, they can be rescued. So yeah, it was very
Mm-hmm.
nice. Um, I
I also like I think having a Pokemon Ranger was cool,
hmm
but I just think it's really weird how they don't really explain what the Pokemon Ranger is,
yeah,
really. Like it's the kind of thing where like if you've played the games, you kind of have to like you'll recognize it, but if you haven't played the games, you'll just be like, okay, so what is a Pokemon Ranger? Like what are his
hmm
powers? He's doing this weird thing. I don't know what it is. Like,
yeah. Like,
you know what I mean?
oh,
So
why can
that part I
he?
felt could have been explained a bit better.
Yeah, yeah, because like, oh, why can this device like control Pokemon and like have why do they help him and you know what I mean? Like, I get what you're saying. It mostly just seems like a way to just like advertise the games. You know what I mean?
But
And
without really advertising them, it's
yeah,
just kind of like, oh, here's a reference to them.
yeah. So like, oh, hey, if you want to know more, like, buy the game. Like, hey, did you know we have a Pokemon Ranger game? Hey, get the Pokemon Ranger game. Like, like you said, like they could have done better with that if especially since because they try to make it seem as if like based off the title Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea, like Manaphy's name isn't even in it, so it
Yeah,
makes it
exactly.
seem as
Right,
if the
right.
Pokemon Ranger plays a big part in the movie and he really doesn't. Like Ash kind of does everything, and then to be fair, I feel like it's safe to say that May has more effect on the plot than the Pokemon Ranger because other than finding the egg, like that's about it. Like May is the one who interacts with Manaphy, is the one who takes care of Manaphy. Ash is the one who solved the
Exactly.
problem. He saved the day. Like like the Pokemon Ranger really does nothing in my opinion to justify why their name should be in the movie.
Yeah, it's
But
weird, right?
yeah, I think that might be it, honestly, for all that I can think of. Do you have any quick points to add?
Um, No, I was gonna say overall, like I said, I think it's just fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, visuals are good.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some pretty good moments in it. The thing between May and Manfy's pretty cute.
Mm-hmm.
I think the antagonist is cool, even though I wish they had shown more of him.
Yeah.
I think the section where Team Rocket gets like swapped around, that part I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's near the beginning too. I thought it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think I would complain about, like I said, Pokemon Ranger not doesn't really play as much of a part as you think it would based on title.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that it was kind of awkward at the ending where it's like, oh yeah, and then Ash just gets like Aquaman powers and saves the day.
Yeah,
It's
for
kind of
all
out
of
of
5
nowhere.
seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of like out of nowhere. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Besides that, though, like I said, it's fine. It's not my. I wouldn't be my favorite, but it wouldn't be my
Mm-hmm.
least favorite. I'd put it somewhere in the middle. I'll probably give it like a B. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Um, and then something that's kind of weird too. I like how basically the movie's basically all about. I mean, it's always about Ash usually because he's the protagonist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here, May also takes a big part. I like how Max and Brock don't even really do anything. I can't even remember anything they do.
Well, Brock hits on one of the circus women because it's Brock, and Max isn't annoying, so
Does
that's
he
a
even
plus.
talk? I don't even remember Max talking in
I
this
think
one.
he does. I think he has like a couple lines about
It's
May
so
being a
weird
mother.
though.
Yeah, no,
I
I
I
think that's. I
yeah.
think Max gives May like mother advice, like parenting advice, and it's like, oh wow, Max, I didn't expect that from you. And then he's like, yeah, and I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember Max and Brock really doing anything. They were even talking, honestly. So
Hmm.
that's pretty funny. So I would just throw that out there.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, and then one more time, I just want to throw it out there. Lots of fan service.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah,
Like if you want fan service, then this is the movie.
yeah.
Yes. So I guess with that, as usual, tell the people what movie we will be doing next.
Okay, so we are finally out of the Generation 3 era. This is
Hmm.
the last time we have to deal with May and Max. They're gone. So next one is the beginning of Gen 4,
Yes.
and the next movie should be The Rise of Darkrai.
Yes. And now this movie, I'm gonna let you guys know right now. I'm gonna like fangirl hard for these Gen 4 movies because like this was like I know I referenced watching the other movies in my childhood, but this was like the prime of my Pokemon childhood were these couple movies. So I'm gonna have some good stuff to say about it. Hopefully, if they don't disappoint me.
You just watch it, you're like, oh, this sucks. You're just like really sad. Funny.
Oh
Very
my
funny.
gosh, I'll quit. Like that'll be it. But I guess with that, like you guys know the drill. Check out Weeb Rabbit. If you enjoyed this Pokemon movie analysis, then leave a comment, like, and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, leave a dislike and a comment. Constructive criticism. Don't just be a jerk. And use that to hopefully make these better. So with that, I will see you in the next Pokemon movie analysis. Bye.
Later.